Hi guys, it's Laura Giles with Pan Society. Our Animist tidbit today is about soul loss. Stay tuned and I'll share my take as an animist and a trauma therapist. Thanks for sharing a bit of your day with me. If this video is useful, please show me some love and hit that subscribe button or share it with your peeps. Alright, so for those of you who are new to the idea of soul loss, what it is essentially a spiritual component of trauma. So let me first start by explaining what is trauma. I think a lot of people are under the mistaken idea that it's something that happens only to military people. Or maybe it's gigantic life-threatening things like terrorism, kidnapping, or being almost murdered. And those things can definitely induce trauma, but trauma is actually a physical response to an overwhelming event. It starts in the brain with something that takes your breath away. The brain responds to this by sending out chemicals to your body to help you deal with the threat, and your body either fights, flees, or freezes. If that takes care of it, no biggie. You shake off the chemicals, the brain resets, and everything's fine. So it's kind of like a reboot. And if the threat is overwhelming, then you either go numb or you go into this hyper alert state that doesn't shut off. And this is going to look different on different people. For some, you get that classic military PTSD look of insomnia, intrusive recurring thoughts, nightmares, sweats, panic, crying jags, your heart's pounding, your muscles are tight, maybe you startle easily, can't be alone, or hyper alert. There are nightmares, memory loss, irritability, anger, can't feel happy, can't concentrate, and maybe you just kind of withdraw from life. For others, it may look like anxiety and depression at the same time. Now, these are neurologically separate states, and you shouldn't feel excited and depressed at the same time. If you do, you could be experiencing trauma. And your symptoms could be simply numbness and a general disconnection from life, or like an emotionless existence. And this can be harder to spot because this person can look pretty chill. And who doesn't want to be chill? This person looks pretty functional. Or it could be an I'm just not all there type of feeling. Anytime there's an emotionally overwhelming event that is larger than a person can deal with, trauma, which is the physical response, happens. Now, life's holistic, right? So what happens to the mind, body, emotions, or spirit impacts your whole being. So the impact of trauma on the spirit is that that part of your soul leaves to help you to survive it. Everything's adaptive. Your body's responding this way to keep you alive, and the part that leaves takes away the pain and sometimes the memory, or maybe it dulls it. Unfortunately, it also takes away some of your vitality, energy, and life force. So there's a dullness or a hole left behind. You're not really all there. So what causes this? Well, all these things are like the things I mentioned: war, rape, murder, terrorism, that kind of stuff. Some not so obvious causes are things like surgeries, car accidents, romantic breakups, physical abuse, financial ruin, being yelled at over and over again, or growing up in an environment that's not stable. And that could be that there isn't consistent shelter, food, discipline, or love. So anything that's a threat to your well-being or self-concept can create it. And if you have ever had experience where you just said, after this happened, I was never the same, that's probably a soul loss experience. So soul loss is not a new idea. It's and part of most, if not all, indigenous animist cultures. So basically, it's a spiritual aspect of what happens after a traumatic event. This is a really common event in modern societies because our societies are isolated, lonely, cold places where we're constantly overstimulated, so we're always operating at the max. We don't have families, spiritual practices, or support to help us be more resilient, healthy people. I'd say most people have multiple soul loss experiences, and this is something that I deal with every day professionally, and it's not the easiest thing to overcome, but everyone can heal. So let me know your questions and share your experiences with us below. I'd love to hear from you. Ciao.